Hello and thank you for joining us on the midweek edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Ayodele Uzubakun. Today on the program, up to 100,000 Damasak residents fleeing to Niger Republic as Boko Haram attack local government headquarters for the 5th time in 2 weeks. PDP governors accuse APC of prioritizing poaching of opposition governors instead of tackling insecurity. And later on the show, PSG knockout holders Bayern Munich to reach Champions League semi-finals as Chelsea survive Porto scare in advance to last 4. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Olabisi Deji Folutile. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Thank you for staying with us. Insecurity has not rung a bell of finality yet, with daring attacks recorded almost every day. In Damasak, Borno State, up to 100,000 residents are fleeing to neighboring Niger Republic seeking respite. This comes as insurgents group Boko Haram has attacked the local government headquarters for the 5th time in 2 weeks. When will the bell be rung? Babajide, 100,000 people running helter-skelter, seeking shelter in another country.
Yes. It's difficult to blame the people because we have simply failed them. We have shown ourselves incapable of protecting our people. So they will go to Niger Republic. Even in Katsina, there are some communities that people have fled to go and stay in Benin Republic. To stay in Niger Republic. So this is the situation that we have found ourselves. We can't have our people come under consistent attack from Boko Haram as we are having currently. In the last few weeks, Boko Haram has consistently attacked Marte and other places, including, of course, the Kwa. But Damasak was again attacked yesterday around 5 p.m. And in fact, they were strolling freely. I saw a video where they were strolling freely, meaning that they were in complete control of the area. If you watch the video, your blood will boil. That terrorists can take over an area. They were going into the hospital in the area. They looted the vans, the hospital vans, ambulances. They looted them. They looted consumables in the hospital. And then they left the area. And I also saw a picture of a soldier who was killed, maybe one of the people guiding the area. So it's been really, really tough on our people this past few weeks. And I think that there are enough Nigerians, especially from Borno State, taking refuge in Niger Republic at this time. You look at residents of Abadam local government. Abadam local government has more than 100 communities. There's not one of them where our people are living as we speak. They fled to Niger Republic. The governor, whenever the governor is distributing palliatives in Borno State, he goes to Niger Republic to give palliatives meant for people of Abadam local government to go and give them their own in another country. So if you say, how are the mighty fallen, which was what the president said in 2015, it is appropriate to say that at this time. If people are still leaving our country to take refuge in another country, like Niger Republic, because the attacks, you saw the report that showed that Boko Haram, between January 1 and March 17, ISWAP, not the entire Boko Haram, ISWAP attacked Nigeria 212 times. Whereas during that period, Niger Republic was attacked 9 times. During that period, Chad was attacked just once. So you see that we are the epicenter of the whole Boko Haram insurgency. We are the epicenter. Cameroon was not even listed among states that were attacked. Just within, this thing is now almost entirely localized within Nigeria. And we are facing so much heat. I saw houses going up in flames, and I pity the governor of Borno State, because the more he goes to reconstruct, the other day when they took over this local government, the governor, that was Bikwa, the governor went there and promised that he was going to reconstruct those houses, including the 3 army bases that were overrun. He said he would rebuild them and all that. But how many times are you going to rebuild? You go, you rebuild, you build new hospitals, they go there, they set them ablaze. You come back again. I'm telling you, there are communities, even in the local government of the late Chief of Staff of the President,
Abakari.
Yes, Abakari, that have been rebuilt 2-3 times. That was the commercial nerve center of Borno State. It's been rebuilt 2-3 times.
Okay. Olabisi, we need assistance, we need help. Because it's like we are getting overwhelmed when we can't protect the lives and property of people in that area, that people are fleeing Nigeria to go to Chad, to go to Niger Republic. Now 100,000 in Damasak.
No, the problem, the challenge for me now is this. For how long are Nigerians going to get safety in Niger Republic? This has gone beyond being overwhelmed. I think this is a pure case of a situation where there is no help at all. It's an helpless situation. It has gone beyond being overwhelmed to becoming an helpless situation. Because as it is, it doesn't seem as if we have the capacity at all to confront the enemies within. According to the chairman of the local government of this area, Mobo local government area, Moba, okay? The man said the insurgents were there for close to 6 hours. Operating without any form of check. No help at all. So
we have access to air power.
And you know, they even destroyed the police command. They went to the humanitarian body there, destroyed their location, destroyed their vehicle, they took away so many things. When things get to this level, we cannot be talking of being overwhelmed. All we can just talk about now is that we are helpless, and definitely we need help. Whatever we've been doing has not worked. Whatever solution we thought we had has definitely not worked. And if we continue like this, we will continue to allow Nigerians to live in mystery. And this is not fair at all. It's not even starting today. As far back as 2016, over 200,000 people were said to take refuge even in this same Niger Republic. So for how long do Nigerians begin to, yes, in that place? And remember that these people are in refugee camp. In these refugee camps, there is no water. There are so many facilities that are not available. Even the bodies that are just for safety. Even the people that are taking care of them are overwhelmed. So I don't really know why we are reluctant to seek external help at this point in time. Could there be something that we stand to lose if we ask for help from external bodies? Is there anything we stand to lose? What is the reason? Why the reluctance? Why?
We are busy lying that the enemy has been defeated.
because it's obvious that
I'm
the
busy
enemy...
lying that the enemy has been. When sometimes the enemy overruns us, we claim that we repelled. So, and that is not how to solve a problem.
Exactly.
That's not how to solve
the
a
reality
problem.
on ground now is what BC has just said, that we need to cry for help.
We need to.
We're not showing strength in any way.
No. The truth is, yes, whenever there is a change in leadership of the army, the enemy always exploits the situation because they know that it will take a while before new people familiarize themselves with the situation, the operational environment, the operational situation in those areas. They are intelligent and they are keen to exploit a situation. It happened in Chibok when the commanding officer in Biu was changed. Lieutenant Colonel Ojo took over. At the time, he was doing familiarization tour, trying to familiarize himself with the terrain, know where the routes are, know the areas of threat and all that. This boy struck. Because we also have this attitude of announcing changes in the armed forces. We go to Twitter, go everywhere, we announce. When we want to do an operation, we also announce. Whereas one of the basic principles of war is surprise. But how do you surprise the enemy when you've announced your intentions? Oh, we are going to Timbuktu Triangle to go and dislodge Boko Haram. So the people that you want to dislodge, you assume that they will simply wait to be dislodged. So the rate at which we announce even postings, operational postings within the police, within the army, it has to stop. We can't keep announcing because they know that once a new person comes, he will need some time to bed into the situation, to get familiar with the situation. And being smart people, they exploit that situation a lot. Anybody who is knowledgeable about the war in the Northeast will tell you that was what happened in Chibok. Before the young man was able to settle down to business, they quickly launched an attack on Chibok and took away those guys. So you are changing the seal, you don't need to announce. But of course, even our friends in the army too, every time say, they don't change our CEO, we don't change our commander. Things that in the past we were not doing. What do we intend to gain by announcing every attempt to go after the enemy? What do we tend to gain? We have to, because the enemy has shown that he can exploit all that. And I've said before that, look, we need to do something now, even about weapons. We've got to improve in the area of weaponry. If the enemy can overrun army bases, it means we are deficient in terms of firepower. It also means that we are deficient in terms of manpower, the number of troops that we have. If we cannot scale up significantly the number of troops at our disposal in the Northeast, we cannot win this war. Because every time we capture a place from Boko Haram, we leave the place ultimately and they will come back. I've said before that I know communities that the Nigerian army has captured at least 3 times. Every time we capture those communities, because we don't have enough troops to put on ground to secure the area, we leave the place and they come back. So this is what is happening. Now the current army chief is saying that he wants to bring in some retired soldiers. That is because he realizes that we don't have enough.
All right, I have our first caller. Olawale is calling us from Ikorodu. Thank you for joining us, Wale.
Good evening, Ayo.
Good evening, Wale.
Good evening, Ayo.
Good evening, Wale.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
I think it's appropriate what Olabisi said. We are not only helpless, we are totally helpless. It is time for us to seek for help. And I want to thank you people, especially Abajide Kolade, for keeping us abreast of the development of this internal war. It has come to a time that Nigerians will just get the clothes of arrogance and beat down and seek for help. It is totally, it is time now for us to know that we cannot.
Okay, thank you, Wale. Busy. Moving on now, and when we look at the humanitarian situation we have, and our IGP camp, we've opened that camp since this thing started in 2009. We have children there, access to medical facility, no access to school, and if they have to go to school, you know how the environment is going to be. And I look at the setback down in these states, and I feel so bad.
It's actually a lot of mystery. It's as if you subject. Of course, we know Nigerians are suffering. We know that there are so many things that are not working right here. But then, for those of us on this side, we cannot compare ourselves with these people, because we are talking about people that don't even have shelters. Have you been to these IDPs? Do you know the number of people that are crammed into a little space? Sometimes they sleep in open space. So you cannot imagine rearing children. Mind you, they even have children.
Damasak.
Yeah. They have children.
Smoke from.
That's the visual of Damasak.
Yes.
Wow.
This
How the attack and all of that. So you can imagine raising children in that kind of situation. It's terrible. We are talking about over 10 million Nigerian children that are out of school, and you now breed more and more of them.
They attend primary, secondary school,
which
and
primary?
move
They
to
are not
tertiary
even. They are not even attending kindergarten. Not to even talk of.
A lot of them are orphans, so who even.
So it's a lot of mystery. It's a lot of mystery. It's a lot of mystery, and when we look at this and the amount of money committed into fighting this insurgency, sometimes one is tempted to ask that, are we more interested in political warfare or in military warfare? Because it now seems to me that we are more interested in talking about defeating an enemy that is still very powerful than actually doing the right thing. Okay, now, Babajide talked about military postings that are announced. Are you telling me that the military authorities do not understand how to fight wars? Are you saying that they don't know what they are supposed to do? They should know, because they are well trained. But I guess they all go out to also talk about what they are doing because they want to sound politically correct. You see, we need to be true to ourselves. We need to remove politics from this war. We need to face it. We need to tell ourselves the truth that this country is in dangerous situation, and we cannot afford to continue to deceive ourselves and just pretend that all things are okay. We are talking about Boko Haram insurgency in the northeast and how they are fleeing to Niger Republic. Come to Ogun State down here. The people in Abeokuta, Ogun State, they also fled to Benin Republic, running away from bandits. So when are we going to stop all of these things?
In fact, I was told that the doctors in Ogun State are on strike, saying that yes,
they keep targeting them. They still abducted 2 of them today. Yesterday they abducted 2 or 3 of them. So the doctors and nurses, where are we going with all of this?
How will they get money to pay that kind of ransom?
The associations are likely to pay, because I don't know how they are going to get money, and there is no surety that the law enforcement or security people are going to rescue them. So it's a really terrible situation, and
you know, they've achieved their aim of slowing down the governor's move to relocate people to communities in the Borno North. Now, the governor will be putting the lives of so many people at risk if he continues to encourage people to relocate to those areas. Yes, he wants the economy to begin to do well.
I wish they
we can
had
feel
this
his
kind of
energy.
governors when everything was
When
normal.
yes, when Borno
You would
was
have
truly
seen-
the home
yes,
of
you would have seen
hospitality
developments.
and all that, yes, but now it's building for the first time an overhead bridge in that area, starting from that customs area. And if he moves fast, that will be the first overhead bridge in the northeast. No, not even the northeast.
Entire northeast.
Yes, So that's in addition to expanding roads, turning some of them to dual carriageway and all that. He's a man with so much energy and in a hurry to deliver the divisions of democracy. But Boko Haram is a big obstacle. We were talking about the fact that Boko Haram plunged the whole of Maiduguri into total darkness. And that darkness lasted more than a month. When I met the Minister of Power, I asked him, I said, when are you going to fully restore light
At any point,
Borno? I said, when are you going to...
When they attempt it.
They even attacked the staff of...
They're working there.
Yes, they attacked the staff of the power ministry, Now, they waited for them to finish the work. Immediately
Wickedness.
they finished the work, they went back. Using their IEDs, they destroyed those transmission lines again. Maiduguri has been back in total darkness again. This is what these guys are doing. I mean, a lot of it don't get reported because people want to be politically correct, but it does not solve the problem. People will remain
It might have
dying.
taken some weeks to have gotten that thing back.
It
They
took,
allowed them.
I said it took over a month.
and the
I was
resources
monitoring it.
committed to it.
When I went to see the minister, because I'm passionate about Borno State, I can't watch those people suffer. That is a fact. I have too many friends there. And I told the minister, I said, when are you going to finish this, solve this problem of power, complete darkness that Boko Haram has caused? He then told me that even their own people who were there were attacked, but that within 1 week that they were going to solve the problem. So I was monitoring. Immediately they finished restoring light, and everybody jubilated that yes, after more than 1 month, we now have light. Those boys descended on the area again, destroyed the transmission lines. You see the pictures of transmission lines.
They're back
to darkness again.
Prince is calling us from Ikorodu. Thank you for staying with us, Prince.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, Prince.
Good evening to Uncle Jide and my sister over there.
Good evening.
Please, I want to ask a question. I don't know. All this, the issue of this journalist hangout, the program has been going on, enlightening and educating Nigerians for years now. Does it mean that the information does not get to the power that be? If it has, all these talks that we have been giving and which are very sensible and enlightening enough, they seem not to have time for us. Because I thought when the president of Niger launched an attack, which is true, on this Boko Haram, that was when Nigeria also supposed to have taken that move from this, and let us compress them and flush them out. But all the world is while we have been talking. I don't think this information gets up there. If it gets up there, it means they dropped in the trash. For now, we are saying we are giants of Africa. In what sense?
It's not as if it doesn't get to them.
They're overwhelmed.
Look, there are times when you condemn the people in power, somebody will call you. So it's not as if they don't that they don't watch us, or that the message doesn't get to them. The big people in government in our country, they watch this program. That one is a fact. So there are some people, I was telling people that the day I met the new chief of army staff, he was asking me that, is it that you've had some training in the army before? How come you know so much? So if he wasn't watching the program, would he have known? So it's not that people don't watch, but the fact that the problems are there. Look, the issue of equipment, the issue of inadequate manpower for the armed forces, they are problems that if we don't solve, we can't win the war. To win and to defeat an insurgency, you must outnumber the enemy. Significantly outnumber the enemy. In some cases, maybe ratio 8-1. Once you dominate the area, you bring people to hold the ground. The Air Force will play a very key part. Once they soften the ground, the surface troops move in, they dominate the area. It's not as if after capturing a place, because you don't have enough troops, you then move them to another area of need. The more you do that, the more they come back. So this is what is happening. This Timbuktu triangle that we always talk about, we have captured it repeatedly. But when we capture and we don't put troops there, they'll be back.
All right.
They'll be back.
We'll take this break. When we come back, we'll talk more. It's still Journalist Hangout. Stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. I still have the master himself on set, Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Olabisi Deji Folutile. Thank you for staying with us, gentlemen. Now, governors of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, are speaking the mind of Greek Stoic philosopher Epictetus, when he said, keep your attention focused entirely on what is truly your own concern, and be clear that what belongs to others is their business and none of yours. The People's Democratic Party wants the APC as the ruling party in the nation to pay attention to tackling the rising insecurity bedeviling the country and stop trying to poach their member governors. Babajide, this is very funny. Just lately, because some people cannot afford to stay in opposition for too long. Some people can't do without that power or that federal might. So the APC, they've been reaching out, and the governor of Yobe State, he has been doing a good job of that, trying to poach, weaken the People's Democratic Party.
Yes.
And
that looks like his mandate.
Yes, he has. He started with Governor Dave Umahi of Ebonyi State, of all places, the southeast. Very, very unlikely place. But there are PDP all through there. But he has pushed the governor, and the governor would now bring his weight to the table. Now, I don't want to mention one other governor that any moment from now, he might be crossing to the All Progressive Congress, and this is like worrisome to the People's Democratic Party.
That's why I said the other day, I suggested to them that that the PDP should go and beg May Malabuni, because May Malabuni, you know, is a gentleman, someone that really can't hurt a fly.
The way he moves.
But by the time he executes his plan, it's usually too late for you. It's usually too late for the PDP. You know, in fact, I was discussing with a PDP man from northern Nigeria. He said, "Kai Rabide, she done Iskane."
Daiska.
He said I should forget him. You know, that is just a Daniska, you know, which is how you describe someone who is
derogatory.
You know, sometimes you use it to describe someone inherently stubborn, someone that you cannot easily dominate. You know, he appears to have that mission. Before he surrenders that mandate that was given to him as caretaker chairman of the party, he wants to have resolved as many disputes within the APC as possible, and not only resolve those disputes, go into the PDP, the enemy's camp to bring as many people as possible.
Look at what he has done in Ogun State. Otumagbenga Daniel, two-time governor of the People's Democratic Party.
Strong man.
Timeji Bafkole, a former speaker from the People's Democratic Party.
And once he has achieved that coup, he will take them before the president to cement it. You know, now people are wondering what will happen in terms of Matawale. I have many friends working with Matawale, but the truth is, even the closest to him, they don't know what Matawale will do next. And those governors, 3 of them went to see him in Zamfara State. He even went as far as naming some projects after some APC governors. Does that not send a kind of signal to you? They don't like it. The PDP in Zamfara don't like it when we say that they did not deserve to be running that state currently, because clearly the majority of the Zamfara people, overwhelming majority, wanted APC to remain in power. But due to the infighting between
I
the
will base
APC...
our analysis on the results from INEC.
Yes, so based on the infighting, APC moved from a winning position to a losing position by their own design. You know, so now you can't blame Matawale and Co that they are in power, but whether it stands a good chance of being re-elected in the PDP is what no one can say with finality at this time. Yes, some of the powerful people within the APC appear to be supporting the governor, even when they don't do it openly. Like Yari, the former governor, and Matawale, they share the same political godfather. And that is Yerima Bakura, Ahmed Sane, Senator Ahmed Sane. So it's a problem on its own.
They're close.
Where, yes, very close. She's the same godfather because both of them served in his cabinet. Yes, both of them served in his cabinet. He was a commissioner in that cabinet, you know. So now what will happen? We've seen Marafa representing Yari because in Zamfara, the APC, they've come together again. I didn't even expect that.
Kabir Marafa and Yari
is part of what this man Malabune is doing up and down. He's found a way to bring those two gentlemen together, and they had meetings on their own. After the National Esco left, they had meetings. So you can see that they are cementing their union again. Now, Kabir Marafa, representing Yari, warns the governor of Zamfara that, look, if you defect, you are going to lose your seat.
Really?
He based it on the manner of his emergence through the courts. But I still don't get how he will lose his seat if he defected. People who have been defecting, they are not losing their seats. So someone like Mahi has defected. He didn't lose his seat. That the court will take back that mandate. So that's a way of scaring him. Scaring Matawale to show that they can stay where he is.
Stay put.
So, because they know that if he comes back as the governor,
we want to take over
he will be installed as the leader of the party. That is the APC tradition. And that was what caused the friction between Kwankwaso and Ibrahim Shekarau. Because clearly became evident that both of them cannot remain in the same party. That once this one defects, the governor defects, the governor will be installed as the leader of the party in the state. So they are saying, look, don't try it. Stay where you are. But nobody knows whether he will end up staying where he is or he will go to the APC.
BC, a lot of Nigerians will say we are painting that picture in the northeast, northwest, north central, even in the southwest, the southeast, that the whole country is like not secured. And the people, the ruling party, that the vanguard of, driving this government, that security thing might not be this priority. They are already looking at 2023, how to win that election, how to stay put in power in spite of the security situation. Even governors came together, northern people came together, they gave a vote of confidence to President Muhammadu Buhari in spite of the prevailing security situation.
And honestly, Nigeria is a very funny country. We are so funny people. Our leaders are very fantastically funny. They can go to any extent to achieve their political ends. Sometimes I just wonder that if our politicians can devote the kind of attention and time they do to politicking, to developing the country, definitely we wouldn't be where we are. When it comes to achieving whatever they want to achieve, their political ends, they are fantastic. They can do anything. They are smart. They can scheme. They know what to do. They know what to say. And that is exactly what we are saying now. Imagine us in this kind of precarious situation, and our governors, all they can think of it's just 2023. They don't care. They don't send. In fact, Nigerian politicians don't send anybody.
They no send.
They no send anybody. They only send themselves. And that is exactly what we have been saying. And it's just also unfortunate that the populace too, I don't know, maybe they have been so weakened, maybe because of the challenges, the poverty level.
The truth is there are some people,
They
even with a gun to
anything.
their neck, they will never support the PDP. Threaten them with death, they will never support the PDP. There are some people like that. So, despite the manifest challenges that the government faces, it still retains tremendous support in some quarters. And that is what gives them hope. They know that there are some people who are still resolutely behind the party.
They still want to come and join them. They want to come and join the party.
Not just even I said the people, the masses themselves.
Some of
Some of our people don't even mention PDP where they are.
all-time highest unemployment rates, 33%.
They don't want to know.
Poverty capital.
Those things don't ring a bell in their hearts. They don't want to know. They believe that this whole problem PDP plunged us into, this whole problem has been 6 years of APC.
That's one narrative.
But they believe that it was PDP that took us on this journey in the first place. So don't even tell them that.
We are still blaming PDP.
Honestly, don't even tell them that PDP is the option. There are people, they can't. Did you see the guy from Zamfara? After defecting to the PDP, he came back to the APC and he was crying. He said, please forgive me. I made a mistake. They had lost the state to the PDP. Then he realized, I was asking, he said, why did I go there? Then he went in public. He begged them to accept him, take him back, and he was crying like a baby. I have the video.
Their interest.
You know? So, it's political culture.
Okay.
You know, there are places where the PDP has never won an election since 1999. That political tendency cannot take root there. Look at some of the states of the Northeast, for example. Borno, Yobe.
ANPP from
It's one-party state.
From ANPP.
And that was how it was in Zamfara. The only exception was when Mahmuda Shinkafi defected. But when he defected, they waited for him at the election and they booted him out.
Yes.
A sitting governor. That's how the work that he did. So this is the thing. The APC, there are challenges here and there, but it doesn't mean that they are not in a strong position. They are still in a strong position from what I see.
All right, we'll take this break again. We'll come back after this time out. Stay with us. That's our package today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. You can watch the repeat broadcast tonight at 11. And don't forget Journalist Hangout on Sunday from 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Ozubakun. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.